So Jussie has done his first interview ever since, being involved in this scandal that many people say was a hoax, and he called it a hate crime. Y'all remember Jussie was photographed walking through the lobby of his building with a noose around his neck, carrying his Subway in his hand. Child. We talked about that over on Patreon, and people was like, he didn't have no Subway sandwich. He did have his Subway sandwich or his salad or whatever it is he bought for Subway, which begs the question, if you fought off these two big old men with MAGA hats, if you round kicked them and you out there like a ninja in the night in 30 below whatever weather, how you do all that and still keep your food intact? That's what I want to know. He must have been in hella good shape. Hella good shape. It was that $5 foot long. You get hungry at 3 in the morning, you gonna protect that food at all costs. You gonna protect that food. But anyway, so we all know the story. We done talked about it. We done beat that horse dead. Now, y'all already know that the Chicago Police Department, they have decided to, press charges against Jussie. Jussie has been going back and forth to court because they said he didn't lie. They didn't spend so much money on resources investigating this lie. They done got the Olasundro brothers, from Nigeria asking them questions. They done found out where they bought the hat from, where they bought the rope from. They found all this stuff about Jussie. Meanwhile, to this day, Jussie will not admit that it was a lie. But there were some people around him who feel that maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he's telling the truth. What is going on? And so I don't understand. Like Mark Lamont Hill, who interviewed him, actually interviewed several people during the stream. One of them was Angela Davis. Like, it was a couple of people they interviewed. And basically they were all saying that he was being railroaded by the system. And I'm like, he's being railroaded. He lied. And I don't understand. Well, perhaps they are using him as an example. Perhaps. But he seemed to not have been honest about the situation. Now, I want to look at a little bit of this interview, and I'm going to let y'all, I'm going to let you know how I do. I like to let y'all make decisions. I might give my input, but I want to let y'all make a little bit of the decision yourself. Hold on, let me find it.
To be able to not be able to say all of the things that you want to say, to not be able to yell from the rooftop, because I don't think that people realize it. I've just been wrapped up in some form of a case for the last approaching in, just a couple months, approaching 2 years. So, it's been beyond frustrating. And I think that I'm certainly not going rogue. And I'm not, I'm still taking the advice of my attorneys and everything like that. But I just don't really see, honestly, what staying quiet has really done, like where it has gotten me. So and then there's the bigger picture that it's so much bigger than me. And it's unfortunate. The main thing, I'm so grateful for Aislinn and Angela and Fanya and Gina and all of these incredible Black women, which really have really embraced this to be able to see the truth. And how am I? It's kind of a weird question to me at this point. The question kind of baffles me at this point, because sometimes sometimes I wake up in the morning and I, am so angry. And then other times I wake up and I can, if I squint real hard, I can see the silver lining. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I always wake up and no matter how I feel is I feel like this is an opportunity to have a very real conversation within our own communities about truth, about reconciliation, about the things that we accept, about the things that we ingest, about the ways that the media handles things, about the idea of corporate network media, or the fact that the police departments, asking the questions of why would a police department need such a PR presence, all of these things come into my mind. But the thing that really gets me is the fact that there are Black and brown women and men behind bars for things that they did not do. You know what I'm saying? Who do not have the ability to pay for somebody to defend them and I saw it with my own eyes, the small amount of time that I was in there. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think that I needed something like this to happen to teach me or to, I look at myself, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty, I'm certainly, well informed about the plight of us. Of course, what in these last 2 years, it has humbled me in a way that nobody could ever possibly understand.
Well, let me ask you about a couple of things you're talking about. I know tomorrow's a relatively big, could be a big day. Tomorrow, September 10th, 2020. Your lawyers are going to file a motion, or they've already filed a motion to dismiss the current indictment. Tomorrow, the court will hear arguments on that motion. There's a chance this could, theoretically, there's a chance this could all be over tomorrow. Do you think that's possible? Are you optimistic?
I believe in the Lord. I genuinely do, man. And I believe that I have to give it up to God. And I think that at a certain point, even in the thing that's gotten me through this, even in my own faithless times, you know what I'm saying? And that's just keeping it 100. I've seen God and I've seen faith through, my family, through my siblings, through my, God knows, through my mother. Older sister prays with me every single day, to the point of sometimes of where I'm just like, Jazz, but it's so important for me to have that. And she knows that. So I'm going to give it up to God. But if I'm being completely honest, no, I don't think that they won't let this go. You know what I'm saying? They won't let it go. It doesn't matter. There is an example being made, and the sad part is that there's an example being made of someone that did not do what they're being accused of. You got to really look a little bit deeper, and you got to think about the fact that these departments, these prosecutors, these police, their frat boy fraternal order of police, all of these departments, they get funded, they get promotions, they get these types of incentives, not from solving a case, based on truth, based on fact, but in fact winning the case. So if your first motive and your main motivation is to win a case, well, then you're going to win at any cost, which means that you're willing to throw people under the bus that don't deserve to. You're willing to coax people into lying about things and saying things happened that did not happen. You're able to switch a narrative and sell a narrative based on the agenda that you're trying to sell. And that is what has happened for the last almost 2 years to me, but it's what's been happening for far much longer to people all over this nation.
We've gotten a lot of context from the first two people about some of those bigger picture things. I mean, one of the things specifically that the Chicago PD though said with your case is that they could not find a video of a hate crime attack, that they couldn't find anybody who fit the description that you gave them. And that was one of the first things that made the public say, hey, wait a minute, maybe this isn't true. What do you say to that?
I would say, and again, I have to be careful what I say because I'm still in a court case, but at the same time, it's out there. There's also 2 other witnesses that saw white men. So, saw exactly what I say that I saw someone with a rope hanging from their side. These are all things. See, that's the man putting me on pause.
Chicago PD to tap your line.
These are the things that people don't necessarily know, because the lies and the things that were not true were yelled from the rooftop. But then the second that something came out that corroborated everything that I said, all of a sudden it was not even a whisper. You know what I'm saying? And again, without going too deep into it, there is a tape of the from what I've seen, and there is something, but of course it cuts off right before it happens. And
why does it cut off, you think? I mean, you could see how someone could say, wait a minute, this tape cutting off at this moment is awfully convenient. What do you say?
I certainly didn't have the power to cut the tape, so who cut it? That's something y'all got to ask yourselves. I'm not here to, I'm in a case. So y'all got y'all got to do the detective work. You know, you think about the fact that every detective combined that was on my case have combined over 560 formal accusations against them. You know what I'm saying? The Chicago Police Department has paid over $7 million just for these detectives alone in, you know, police misconduct lawsuits. You know, they filed a civil lawsuit against me, you know, because Mayor Emanuel, who really has no place at all to talk about, you know, anything criminal, you know, he sued for $130,000 that he claims is overtime for this investigation that was a farce.
Which has never happened before. I don't know in the history of policing, or Chicago policing specifically, where a civil suit has been sort of put up in that way to recuperate overtime fees or investigation fees.
Right. Narrative was put out so that the people could feel like they were being protected somehow by the city or by and listen, let's be clear. And I haven't had a chance to say this. When I tell you I love Chicago, when I tell you that I love Chicago, that was my home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Chicago people embraced me in a way, and I embraced Chicago. I literally was in escrow for an apartment that I was buying when all of this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking after the show was over, I was thinking that I was going to move to Chicago and I would be a permanent resident because I loved it that much. Perfect combination of LA and New York to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, I think I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the civil suit and the fact that they actually sued you to recoup the money.
So they did this whole act with the public as if, oh, the taxpayers, you know, this is their money. And well, I don't think that they told the taxpayers that in 2019, the fee that the taxpayers paid of overtime for the CPT was $140 million. I don't think that they said that the taxpayers had to pay the fee for all of in 2018, $113 million in police misconduct lawsuits payoffs. You know what I'm saying? So while we're sitting here and we're being like, oh, let's just, you know, he lied. He didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't. And there's more things to show that I did not than there are to show that I did. So while everybody's just acting, and it's interesting, people will say things as fact. You know, they will say things as fact, even when they know that it's not true.
What's the biggest thing? What's the biggest thing you hear people say as a fact that you deem not true?
Well, I mean, that I did a hoax, obviously.
Well, it's my fair. I mean, but that's an important thing, because there are people who think that people who are saying, you know, he made an elaborate hoax, that he set all this up for attention, for money, for fame, for likes, for clout, whatever people say. How do you respond to that?
I'm a human being like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I ingest the media and I read the headlines and all of that type of stuff. And I've been guilty of taking things at face value as well. But when you see that happening and they talking about you, and you know that it's not true, somehow it becomes different. And so on one hand, when I step back, I can see the way that they played the narrative, the way that they served it to the people, that it was intentionally created to make people doubt from the very, very beginning. But at the same time, I'm not really living for the people that don't believe, because of the fact that I don't know what to say. Like, I can't take that on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take on the issue of the fact that somebody does not believe. All I can do is know that out of all these jokers in this entire situation, I am the only human being who has not changed his story one time in order to fit someone's agenda, in order to fit someone's deal, in order to fit someone's narrative. You know what I'm saying? This is a department that literally has a hold on the media, and a hold on the media in a way where it is the very people, those people that own the media, because now the media is basically owned by like 2.5 people. And literally the media, the people that are affected are the very people that the media, that those people that own it, they want the people of Chicago to suffer. They want the people of the United States of America to suffer. They're not concerned with I'm sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
We taking
a TV timeout. All right, back. Go ahead.
like people calling my phone. I
Hold
put it
on,
on
y'all.
silent. I'm sorry. You know, from the very, very beginning, it was set up to seem like I was lying about something or everything. And that has to do with the fact of the MAGA of it all. You know what I'm saying?
So talk to me about the MAGA of it all. What role does... No, I was gonna say, talk to me about that, because one of the things you said was that someone said you are in MAGA country now, N-word. I guess I can say nigga, right? You can say nigga. And because that's what they said. Actually, they gave you an ER, right? They said nigger, right?
R.
Hard R. The response that many people made to your claims were people coming from the right, Trump supporters. And so your claims, your allegations were in conversation with their allegations, right? That you know, liberals lie, that this is all a big anti-Trump hoax. Talk to me about how the Trump supporter and the MAGA, the Make America Great Again movement, kind of played into that. Had you not said that part, would this be different?
I think so. And, you know, but the only reason why I said it is because they said it.
Right.
You know, and I don't really know how to make sense of a lot of these things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these questions that are being posed are difficult because, I'm sorry, this is so ragged.
It's all good, man.
A lot of these questions that are being posed, I can't answer because of the fact that I simply don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't know, man.
Let me ask you, and I know you got to run. I want to ask you a question about the Osundero brothers, because I mean, a key part of the state's case against you is their testimony. It's the I don't know if I want to call it a raid, but they went into their house. They say they found stuff. They say that they have video of them, and that the most damning piece of evidence, in fact, in the public mind, in the media, the most damning piece of evidence is those two brothers who they say, and who are held for 47 hours themselves, who they say made a case against you and demonstrated that you weren't telling the truth. Help me understand the Osundero brothers and how they play a role in this.
Well, again, I can't say too much because I'm in a court case, but what I will say is that what's interesting is the fact that they were in there for 47 hours and for 47 hours straight said I had absolutely nothing to do with it. And then all of a sudden,
I think we lost Jussie. I'm sure he'll be right back. I don't want y'all conspiracy theory people out there. I'm sure his phone died or the call was dropped. But I was asking him the question about the Osundero brothers. The Osundero brothers were the main suspects.
Sorry, it was funny.
In the case.
He gonna come back though.
They were part of the conversation. At some point, they were held. At some point, they made their own statements, and obviously, this is all part of the conversation. I'm here to ask the questions, y'all. I see y'all in the comment section asking me to ask different things. Jussie's been very generous with his time, as has everyone this evening, and I thank y'all for being out here. Again, he's going to jump right back on just as we wrap up this conversation. I just want him to get an opportunity to finish his thought. I'm guessing his phone died, so we're just going to take more questions, or not more questions. We're going to take. I'll read your comments as we wait, but it should just be another minute. But I'm very, very happy that Jussie was generous enough to take some time with us. And again, just to be clear, tomorrow is his hearing, and the court will hear arguments on the motion to dismiss the charges. It'll be interesting to see what happens. From what I see, most people are not optimistic that they'll be dropped. That's not a judgment on his innocence or guilt. It's just to say that it doesn't seem to be where the state is at this moment that they're going to do it. But we'll see what happens. It'll be an interesting development. But again, I'm going to wait for Jussie for just a few more minutes because he was in the middle of answering that one question, and then we'll wrap out. But I hope again, what you will see is, let me see 1 second. I'm just checking my notes. Everybody, though, please make sure you read that letter. If someone can drop that link in for me, I'll pin it. I don't want to drop out of where I am. But it's on the Griot.com right now. It's an open letter in solidarity with Jussie Smollett, and all targeted by police misconduct. As you can see this evening, many of the people who are supporting Jussie Smollett, they sincerely support Jussie Smollett, but they also understand there's a bigger conversation to be had. And my argument to you tonight, as a journalist, my job here isn't to pick winners and losers. It's not to decide innocence or guilt, but it is to say that there's a bigger conversation that we need to be having in addition to this conversation about Jussie's case, which is so critical. That means that we should be thinking and talking about police misconduct. We should be, with a microscope, looking at Chicago PD. We should be thinking about all the things that are going on, because this is no joke. Jussie's back. I'm going to take his. I'm going to bring him back in so I can let my brother finish his thought, and then we'll wrap up out of it. Let's see where we go here. Let's see, he's coming up now.
Y'all thought I was a sucker who was scared.
My brother, there we go.
Question.
I said, man, you gonna have people think. I was like, the joke's gonna be on 1,000 if he don't come back. They're gonna be like, oh wait, I'll be right back, and then you just don't come back no more.
No.
Now, I know you'll never duck, man.
All I can say is that they were in there for 47 hours. They never said that. They continued to say I had absolutely nothing to do with it, and then they changed their story at the last minute. So again, that's really all I can say about it. That's all I can say about it. You know, y'all gotta read though, man. Y'all gotta, like, the information is not that hard to find if you actually look for it. And, you know, the letter that so many of these brilliant, you know, activists and artists have put together, it really does lay it out, you know. So there's really not a lot that I even necessarily need to say if people just go and read.
Absolutely. And I just pinned that letter there for y'all. It's an open letter in solidarity with Jussie Smollett, and all targeted by police misconduct. Again, it has been signed by many people, from Linda Sarsour to Angela Robinson to Teak Milan, Robin Kelly, Erica Huggins, Lisa Gay Hamilton, Danny Glover, Gina Dent, Fania Davis, Angela Davis, Gwen Carr, Gina Belafonte, and Melina Abdullah. We're talking about a range of people here who are all standing in defense of you. At the same time, there are many people who are deeply critical of you. What do you say to the people who say, I hear you, but I'm still unconvinced? What do you tell them to do? Obviously, I know you want them to read, but anything else?
No.
And that's okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wish that I had something brilliant to say, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been going through this stuff for almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no one understands the amount of threats that I have received. No one understands the amount of threats that my family, that my mother has received. You know what I'm saying? So while everybody's expecting me to jump online, everybody's expecting for me to talk, everybody's expecting to do that. You know, at first, that might have flown. But there are more important things at this point than a show, a job, a gig. You know what I'm saying? So people have to understand that it, in fact, is not my job to convince people that I did not do this. It's not. It's not. And we should not be asking people who. This is what I would say, and then I really should stop, because I'm probably going to start talking too much, because I haven't been able to talk about this. So it's like I'll start yapping, and I need to like chill on that. What I would say is this: there would be no there would be no reason for me to do something like this. And I have a hard time kind of starting to say that because I don't want to appear like I'm trying to convince people. But at the end of the day, if we're really keeping it real, kind of are, there would be no reason for me to do something foolish. And I really do believe that at a certain point, people's history should mean something. And I do think that if you look at all of the things that were happening for me, and then all of the opportunities and all of the money or the opportunities, whatever, that I have lost at this point, if in fact what they said was true, the smart thing to do would be to admit that, because at least there would be a place to work back from. You know what I'm saying? This is bullshit. It's bullshit. And I can try to sit here and I can try to act like, well, we're going to be peaceful about this. No, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of it. And this is not an exclusive. This is not anything like that. I don't want to be sitting there crying on a couch ever fucking again. You know what I'm saying? But nobody understands what the fuck we have gone through. Nobody understands. And the people that do understand, continuously, their voices are tried to be silent as well. They will always try to silence the people who are simply speaking the truth. And you need to start asking yourself, why is that? Why is it so important to silence the very people who are simply telling the truth and point those people as the liars? Because the liars are the ones that are projecting. They're projecting on us, when in actuality, all we're trying to do is simply tell the truth. I have never told anything other than that. And I'm through with attempting to convince people. It's always the elephant in the room. It's always all of that. Enough is enough. You don't know me. You don't know me. And you need to look at my history, and then maybe we can talk. But we don't even have to do that. I love my people. I will forever love my people. What I have learned through this, though, is that not everybody is a part of my community. The people who are a part of my community are the people that choose to be a part of my village, period. So as far as this goes, nah, I wouldn't do anything like this. And this is the last thing I'll say, I am a Black man. I am a same gender loving, prideful to a fault man who leads with his blackness. The last thing that I want to do is be portrayed as a victim. That shit is real. You know what I'm saying?
He is a strong Black man.
I've never been an attention whore. I've never brought my partner on a carpet. I've never done any of that. I've never told that, what I donate or what I support, never do that, because that's not what it's for. And that's what I was raised to do, to never, ever just expect something from what you do. This is not who I am. So this whole dog and pony show that they're doing, this ain't for me. I have to be there physically, but this ain't for me. Their whole thing that they're gonna do tomorrow, that's not for me. I've checked out. I've moved on. I've moved on to continue to fight for my people. They can try. My mother told me, she said, what is the easiest way to make your work null and void? Make you the enemy of the very people that work is with and for. You're not going to keep on silencing my advocacy. You're not going to keep on trying to act as if it's frivolous. You're not going to keep on trying to act as if it's attention grabbing. I know that there are a million things to care about right now. Trust me. Nobody is more sick of this bullshit than me. Trust me. Trust me. I see the comments. You know what I'm saying? Not on this specifically.
I know what you mean.
Comments, but I see, oh, we're over this. It's above me now. You dang right. It's above me too. But it's actually beneath us. It's beneath us, but I gotta go, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know you gotta go. Yo, thank you. My brother, thank you for.
He'd have had to go for the longest time. I think he's still there. Hold on.
My truth. There is only one truth. I don't speak my truth. I speak the truth. So hold on to that.
That's facts.
Hold on to that.
That's facts, bro. I'm glad you got a chance to do that. I'm hopeful that the truth will come out. And I hope that you get justice, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I love y'all. Thank you so much, everybody. I love y'all. Y'all have no idea. So I hope this gave y'all something to hold on to. I appreciate y'all. And again, shout out to everybody who has been supporting. Like, I really appreciate it.
Shout out.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Peace.
brother. Talk to you soon.
And shout out to this. And shout out to that. And blah, 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 blah. And I'm not speaking my truth. I'm speaking the truth, honey. I'm not speaking my truth. I'm speaking the truth. How many of y'all still do y'all believe Jussie? Are there still some people out there that believe him? Because clearly some people do. I personally feel like he was involved in some sort of hoax. Now, I do feel like, people, they are using him as an example, all of these different lawsuits about him lying. I think that is different. But at the end of the day, here's the thing, a lot of people forget, they don't press charges against all these white women, these Kens and these Karens who be lying on all these black men saying they about to beat them up. Oh, there's an angry black man. He's about to rape me. Oh, he's about to beat me up. Oh, he said he was going to kill me. Oh, they're barbecuing at the beach. Oh, we don't get the police called on them. So, why is it that, they pressing charges on Jussie? But, then again, it's in this political climate. He gonna pull out the MAGA people. He gonna get them all mad. He gonna get all the Republicans mad in Chicago. Like, I get it. People are like, just leave him alone. He lied. Just leave him alone. But he lied. So I really, I feel personally that he would be better off if he just said, you know what? I lied. I was wrong. Let me move on with my life or whatever. And they probably would just, let him go.